up, guys? Time to talk about business and architecture. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Here in Los Angeles 2020, despite all this worldwide crisis and social distancing, I started my video channel about business and architecture. Simply because, as Terminator said, it's time to look under the hood of modern business, to see how brand, finances and marketing work together with experiments on the growing revenues. And of course, to look in the core of the business engine, to see information and software and actually mobile, web and cloud architectures of modern business. We'll talk about it. Time to talk about business and architecture. And due to social distancing, it's even better time to meet with you online. Because all the real-world tech meetups like Google Cloud Next, GGG, Google I/O, WWDC all moved to online format. So do I. Already met someone in the real world. Maybe you know me as a speaker at GGG, the best waiting store. Maybe you meet at some events in I/O, on the top tabs in the United States. Maybe you know me as a mentor of developer study champion candidate. If not, maybe we work together. Or maybe, and I would be really happy if you will mention celebrate architecture patterns and events organized by the really cool kind of events. And if you didn't attend them, you should attend them. And also, I would be really happy if you will mention Solution Architecture Club to Facebook. If you are not a member of Club yet, link is below the video. Please join. So, why business and architecture? It's a very good question. If we already met in real world or online, you probably noticed that together with Solution Architecture Club, we made a huge shift from pure mobile development to the solution architecture. And yes, you actually can just look into Facebook group of Solution Architecture Club and see latest topics. And they were like architecting for the cloud or Google Cloud Platform, best practices or best recommended architectures, Amazon Web Services, Azure, architecture patterns and tactics, or even real-world online events for solution architects like IPM Solution Architecture Katas. And definitely it shows that we together with Club live this topic, live solution architecture, and me personally. That's why I think we have really lots of topics to discuss with you about architecture. And yes, solution architecture always walks hand in hand with technology and development. Though boundary exists between pure engineering, with its coding challenges, object-oriented or reactive design patterns, algorithms and data structures, and yet another area, a solution architecture, where we look from different angle at the same technology challenges. And in solution architecture, we need to look at technology with understanding of business. So we need to take into account business goals, business drivers, significant architectural requirements that influence how we actually will implement the solution and which actually technologies we need and which we don't. And of course, the final goal of solution architecture is not only just estimate and count costs and just say, okay, we are good to go with the development team. No, the solution architecture goal is to achieve business goal. So be very meaningful about what exactly we do and how exactly we do and how to make it really amazing and super effective and probably scalable and super performant too. If you're a software engineer, you probably do some architectural work, at least at some extent. You probably do this somewhere at kickoff a project. I mean, at the start of project, very beginning. Or maybe when you are working at POC, like a proof of concept, or MVP, that is minimum viable product. And if you are, let's say, mobile architect, you probably choose some architectural pattern. Maybe actually just follow this style until the project will be released into market. Let's look at this from a different standpoint. Let's look at this from the angle of view of a business owner. And let's imagine that as a business owner, you probably don't want only mobile applications. Like, for the very beginning of proof of concept, it's great. But in real world, you also web. And also, responsive web that we can put on the laptops and mobiles at the same time, in case, for example, our user can't install the application yet. This web application should probably lead the user to the mobile markets to install the application. It's pretty much reasonable, right? Maybe. Besides web, there may be needed desktop. Desktop may be needed. Not such popular now, but still. There are desktop clients for many applications, like Evernote, for example, or I don't know, OneDrive, or Microsoft Office, Box, I don't know, many others. Also, maybe this application for this project may not be only front-end. It may include some devices. Let's say some IoT devices. Maybe there will be some smart fridges, car module that will translate, I don't know, GPS or fuel level. Or maybe there will be some drones that will gather some, I don't know, video. Or maybe some computers. Also, system. And here are some architecture needs. Because when we build plans, like one platform plans, architectural matter for one platform will not work anymore. And we will see that architectural patterns, actually, solution architecture patterns, are much more complex things. And we will talk about them and architectural patterns in future videos, because it's a very big and interesting topic. Understanding the business is crucial for an architect. There is no architecture and no solution without real business need in this. That's why we probably will not hear much about architecture from a small startup team working in a garage. At the same time, there will be too much talks about architecture in an enterprise. And it's not only because architecture is complex. It's mostly because architecture is needed, or architecture understanding is well needed when business is scaling, changing, and requires splitting the solution into services that work together. And understanding of how exactly build those complex systems actually arises only when business grows. Yep, that's it.
First and simplest insight into architecture and technology stack related to solving business challenges can be done when you start working with Firebase. Firebase is a great example provided by Google. It started as a mobile-first platform for kind of synchronizing or sending push notifications, but actually was growing, and over years it includes a lot of products and services focused on the achieving business goals. For example, it includes marketing and push notifications, analytics and predictions, and many other services that really help to analyze audience, make marketing campaigns, predict growth of the business, provide A/B testing, and therefore improve business. Actually, you may notice these things are done mostly by kind of marketing team or product managers, but not by developers. Developers only integrate Firebase and just implement some, some experiments, for example. That's it. At the same time, the service makes a huge impact on involvement of the product. And actually, if you worked in the environments where experiments were running like really in a googly way, you may notice that Firebase or any other platform or set of platforms that works for the same purpose actually influence development and create lots and lots of new tasks and challenging projects inside the huge project. And it actually really huge topic. We'll touch it in one of the videos forward. With that said, Firebase, like many other similar platforms, like AWS for example, provides integrations and SDKs for different other platforms. Like for example, Firebase is owned by Google, but it's not only for Android. It's for Android, iOS, web, can be and must be integrated with backend sometimes, for example for push notifications. And all this gives you a great way to make your mobile-first project evolve over time into mobile plus cloud project, and then even build bridge from the mobile first like Firebase to the cloud first like Google Cloud Platform, including such services and as visual text recognition or voice recognition or some big data computations. So all these things are available for users and developers who use Firebase. And it's really cool. You may notice that this gives a great way to evolve your project from mobile first to the cloud oriented, and therefore grow and scale to another platforms, like jumping from iOS to Android and web, for example. It's really great opportunity. You may notice the same tendencies with another cloud services, like Amazon Web Services or Azure, that provide huge integrations with mobile and web, and also provides a lot of variety of services that grow each year. And actually, despite all of them are really big, they are leaders in their own niches sometimes and provide some unique services that we will discuss later. And also, despite those giants like Amazon or Microsoft or Google, you also may notice that there are some smaller cloud-first services that also provide some very useful functionality for your businesses, like for example DigitalOcean or Bugsnag. In upcoming videos, I will talk about most popular cloud platforms and try to make some comparison between them, so you will understand which services are included usually in like all modern platforms and which services are more unique to each vendor and which of them are most popular and most useful for each project and which maybe, like for some specific technology domain or business domain. We'll try to talk about this later. And also I will try to structurize knowledge so you will be more clear about what exactly level of understanding of cloud platform you need for your specific project. Because as an architect I understand that not every project really needs all those hundreds of services provided like by Google Cloud Platform or by Amazon Web Services. You actually may need to understand very much like what you need for the jump start of the project and what you can postpone but like plan for the future and may cover with another people or may cover later in another stages of project. All of things, including like grading of the knowledge and understanding differences between like architects associate or architect professional and which services we actually need for each project and which services we need for very specific needs, we will discuss in upcoming videos.
As Randy Shok, VP of Engineering at WeWork, said, if you don't end up regretting your early technology decisions, you probably over-engineered. That's why we'll talk about minimum viable architecture and minimum viable product, and about scales at which architecture need to be introduced at different stages of business, like at startup, at growing business, or at established enterprise. We need to be clear about how much architecture is needed on each stage and how exactly to introduce.
Why this channel is about business and architecture. And besides talking about big money and how companies scale their revenues by using scaling and growth patterns, we also will look under the hood and find their software systems that work as automation and core of the businesses. And this is driven by solution architecture.
Please check links below the video. You will find some interesting and useful resources to learn more about business and architecture. Please leave your likes and subscribe to the channel. And of course, leave your comments about what you like to see in the next video.
It's time. Let's start our amazing journey into business and architecture world. If you are watching, you are already in business. Stay tuned. More is coming.